morning, my name is Romasta Uli Pardosi. I am from Group 4 and I will present about Chapter 1. The first point, the background of the research. English is the first foreign language used in Indonesia to communicate and relate to other nations, especially in terms of science and technology, which always requires everyone to be able to communicate internationally in accordance with the interests and developments of the era. In English, there is also a topic called syntax. Syntax might be related from the definition of the construction, arrangement, or words principle to the large construction of various variations. In syntax, there is also a topic called phrase. Bernhard in the Word Book Dictionary explained that a phrase is a group of a word not containing a subject and a verb and use a single word with a sentences. In phrase, we are focused on noun phrase and verb phrase. He mentioned a noun phrase is a group of words that does the work of a noun. A noun phrase is either a pronoun or any group of words that can be replaced by a pronoun. Swan stated that noun phrase or NP is a group article plus adjective plus noun, which act as the subject, object, or complement of a sentence. Noun phrases consist of nouns and all their modifiers. It can function in sentences as a subject, object, or complement. Some noun phrases begin with infinitive to go or gerund or going. This type of noun phrase is always single. Whereas a verb phrase consists of the main verb plus one or more auxiliary verbs, complement, object, or other modifiers and functions syntactically as a verb. A verb phrase consists of an auxiliary or helping verb and a main verb. The helping verb always precedes the main verb. A helping verb includes forms of be such as am, is, are, was, were, being, and been. Forms of have such as has and had. Forms of do such as does and did. Forms of can such as could, will, would, and shall. And forms of should such as may, might, and must. B. The problem of the research. The problem of the research is what is the differences between noun phrase and verb phrase. C. The limitation of the research. The limitation of the research is noun phrase and verb phrase. D. The objective of the research. The objective of this research is to know and understand the differences of noun phrases and verb phrase. E. The significance of the research. First, theoretically significant. This research will give more understanding about the students' understanding about noun phrase and verb phrase, ability, group or teamwork, strategy in teaching and learning process, the importance and the application of related theories. And the second, practically significance. The first, the teacher. This study is hoped to help the teacher how to improve students' ability in knowing the differences of noun phrase and verb phrase. Second, the reader. By using this study, the reader are expected to get an information about noun phrase and verb phrase and how to use it in a sentence. The third, the writer. This study helped the writer to develop the knowledge about the differences of noun phrases and verb phrase in syntax. Okay, I think that's all about chapter 1. Next, we'll explain by my friends. Thank you.
Okay, my name is Novita Christina Marpaung, M.Hum 17-12-0069, and today I will explain about Chapter 2, Review of Related Literature. The first is the meaning of the research. According to Legas and Larry, a contrastive analysis is a way of comparing language in order to determine potential errors for the ultimate purpose of isolating what needs to be learned and what does need to be learned in a SLL situations. Syntax means that sentence constructions, how words group together to make phrase and sentence. Some people also use the term of grammar to mean the same as syntax. Okay, the topic is noun phrase and verb phrase in syntax. Some experts, like Norquist, mention that a noun phrase is a phrase that plays the role of a noun. Swan states that the noun phrase is a group of example article plus adjective plus noun which act as the subject, object, or complement of a sentence. Whereas a verb phrase consists of a main verb plus one or more helping verbs its complements, object, or other modifier, and functions syntactically as a verb. Okay, next is the types of the research. The topic is noun phrase and verb phrase. Noun phrase can be divided into basic and complex noun phrase, and verb phrase can be divided into first, present participle phrase, next, past participle phrase, and then gerund phrase, and the last is infinitive phrase. Okay, the third is the contrastive of the research. Syntax is the way in which words are put together to form the sentence, and a phrase is a group of words functioning as a single unit in the syntax of a sentence. There are 5 types of phrase, and most phrase has a central word defining the type of phrase. This word is called the head of the phrase. This discussion will focus on differences between noun phrase and verb phrase. The noun phrase is a string of words that all depend or focus in some way on a single noun. In other words, noun phrase normally consists of a head noun, which is optionally modified. Modifier can be added before the noun called pre-modifier and after the noun called post-modifier. From the introduction above, we can recognize that the differences between noun phrase and verb phrase is the head of phrase. Head of phrase will determine whether the phrase is noun phrase or verb phrase. For example, Jane saw the man through the window. This sentence has 3 phrases, which is noun phrase, verb phrase, and professional phrase. The first is Jane saw. The second is the man. The third is through the window. From the phrase, we can determine the phrase whether noun or verb phrase refer to. The first is Jane saw. Jane is a noun and saw is a verb. This phrase is verb phrase because word saw is more dominant than Jane in the phrase. In other words, saw is head of the phrase and it refers to Jane's actions. The second is the man. The is determiner and man is a noun. This phrase is noun phrase because word man is more dominant than the in this phrase. In other words, man is the head of the phrase. Okay, that's all that I can explain about chapter 2. Thank you for your attention.
Okay, now I will to continue to chapter 3 about the research methodology. For the first is research design. Research design used in this research is qualitative research. Qualitative research is defined as a research procedure which procedure description data in form of words written or spoken of the person. So we are decided to use qualitative research method with the aim of understanding what and how. The difference between noun phrase and verb phrase in syntax. Okay. The second is instrument data. In a contrastive analysis between noun phrase and verb phrase in syntax, we use instrument data with book, some journal, some internet, such as the instrument of book or syntax stories. For the third is collecting the data. In data collection, suggested that there are several types of data collection methods in qualitative research, namely observation, visual analysis, literature study, and interviews, or individual or group. We are collecting the data by literature study. Literature study in activity together information that relevant in the topic or problem. That is as subject research. Such as information can be obtained from books, scientific papers, theses, dissertations, encyclopedia, internet, and etc. So we are collecting the data or information that is relevant to our research topic took books, journal, and internet. For the fourth is analyzing of the data. In this research, we are use descriptive analysis to analyze the data. Descriptive analysis is the process of analyzing the data to get a general picture of the data that has been collected. In this research, we are analyze the differences between noun phrase and verb phrase. Before we analyze the difference, firstly we saw the meaning and the examples of both. We look from a source about the meaning and examples of both. We also analyze some sentences from other research. After we got all the data, and then we analyze to get the difference of both. To make it easy, here the point of data analyzing. For the first is look for the definition and examples of the topic. For the second is look from other research and compare it. For the third is making sentence by ourselves. For the fourth is analyze the example from other research that had been collected with our own example. Okay, I think that's all for the chapter 3. Thank you.
Good morning, my friend and my lecturer. Here I will explain about our presentation with the title A Contrastive Analysis between Noun Phrase and Verb Phrase in Syntax. So, before I explain our mini research, I want to introduce my name. My name is Alvari Padang. Here I will explain chapter 4, namely result of the analysis. I will explain about the differences between noun phrase and verb phrase. The first is noun phrase. Noun phrase is the merging of noun with one or more modifier. Noun act as head. Modifier can be determinants such as a, an, the, or the extra. And the next adjective like small, big, black. And the next is like adverb such as very, to, so, and the extra. A noun phrase can be a single noun or pronoun. It can also be accompanied by several other components. The first I shall explain a noun phrase that are only nouns or pronouns. The example is I love reading. The nouns or the pronouns is I. The next is noun phrase consists of determiner and noun. The example is my phone goes off. The determiner or noun is my phone. The next is noun phrase that follow by adjective. The example is the black cat is already gone. So the adjective is black. The next is noun phrase that begin with a quantifier or number. Example is all of the students come late. The quantifier or number is all of the students. Okay, next I shall explain about verb phrase. Verb phrase is a group word consisting of a main verb and an auxiliary verb. The composition of the verb phrase consists of 6 types, namely the first, containing of main verb. The example is I am happy. So the main verb is am. The next is consists of auxiliary verb be followed by main verb in the form ing. The example is I am sleeping. So the be is am. The verb ing is sleeping. The next is consists of auxiliary verb have followed by main verb in the form past or past participle. Example is they have gone home. The auxiliary verb is have while the main verb is gone. That is verb 3. The next is consists of auxiliary verb have plus been followed by main verb in the form ing. The example is they have been waiting. So the auxiliary verb is have been and the main verb is waiting. The next is consists of modal auxiliary can, could, may, might, must, shall, and the other, followed by main verb. The example is you must go now. So the modal is must, the verb is go, namely the verb 1. The next is consists of modal auxiliary verb and auxiliary be, have or have been followed by verb. The example is you will be listening. So the modal is will, the auxiliary verb is be, the verb is listening, that is verb ing. Okay, my friend and my lecturer, that is my presentation. I say thanks.
Good morning, my friends and my lecturer. My name is Dio Janwaris Purba. I will explain our presentation about chapter 5, conclusion. A noun phrase is made up of a noun and its all modifiers, whereas a verb phrase consists of a main verb plus one or more helping verbs, its complements, objects, or the modifiers. A noun phrase can function in a sentence as a subject, an object, or a complement, whereas a verb phrase function syntactically as a verb. A noun phrase can come in different forms, but its functions remain those of a noun or pronoun. However, a verb phrase is often a part of the predicate. A noun phrase can be divided into two types, such as basic noun phrase and complex noun phrase, whereas a verb phrase can be divided into four types, such as present participle phrase, past participle phrase, gerund phrase, and infinitive phrase. A noun phrase can be accompanied by several other components, such as noun phrase that are only nouns or pronoun, noun phrase consisting of determiner and noun phrase that followed by adjective, noun phrase that begin with a quantifier or number.